We are back, baby. Polly P works here with chapter 1087 of One Piece entitled Battleship Bag. So before we start off, we have a reader request of Ace heating up the bath water for 2 capybaras. He's also lighting a joint for one of them. Or a cig. So I love One Piece. One Piece is great. Anyway, we are introduced to 2 battleships, which is the title drop of this chapter. Apparently, they were used as sandbags or punching bags by Garp and his former pupil Kuzan, also known as Akioji. And during these bouts, as Brand New tells us as he's talking to Django and Fullbody, that when they practiced, they were not using any sort of Delphi ability or hockey. It was just full super strength. So it's nice to see that just pure super strength still has a place for One Piece after we've been sort of drowned with basically all the hockey, because the hockey has been like the center stage since the time skip had started. So we are now going back to the pirate island, and San Juan Wolf, the biggest being in the world, has been knocked out, punch out style, and he is drowning in the ocean now because he fell back head first into the ocean that is surrounding Pirate Island. And I believe it's Pizarro say someone needs to help retrieve him, and everyone say, well, how are we gonna retrieve him? He's too big. Okay. And then we get a feat from Vasco Shot, and I just did a short about this. He uses an attack called Heavy Drinker Hearthfire. So he's the fire guy on the Blackbeard Pirates, just like how Sanji is the fire guy on the Straw Hat Pirates. I called it, because you know what's funny too? You see this a lot in a lot of Japanese media, like anime and manga and stuff, where the fat guy or the guy that's associated with cooking or is associated with drinking has like a fire ability. Because I remember there was a guy like this in Roni Kenshin, and there was a guy like this in Cyborg 009. I think it was like 6 or something, whom he was a chef, and his Cyborg ability was breathing fire. So he looked a lot like Vasco Shot, if I recall. So that's very interesting. But yeah. Vasco Shot's, presumably his Delphi ability, allows him to breathe fire once he's had something to drink. So that's very interesting. Mind you, this is still pretty early, so the official hasn't come out yet. But if the translation of this attack being Hearth holds up, this is now another connection to cooking for Vasco Shot. So he's got 2 food connections now, the drinking and a hearth, which is used for cooking. So yeah, that's amazing. We still don't know the full scope of what the Glug Glug fruit could do, but I think this is part of it. So yes, he's a fire-breathing drunk clown. That's incredible. So the fire rings out on Pirate Island. The civilians that they have rescued have escaped, and we get a weird scene of Prince Groose holding up a mace. So this is another Devil Fruit thing. Now we know that not only can Prince Groose make constructs that are animated, but he can also just make weapons, because this is most likely a mace made out of clay using his Glorp Glorp fruit. What's so funny here is that Prince Groose, as Garp is starting to confront Kuzan, he asks him, is he the future of the Marines like Kobe? Garp does not answer, however, and Garp just tells everybody who is with them on Full of Lead Island or Pirate Island that they need to escape to the shore. And as Kobe makes his escape, he sees a woman is in danger. She's being harassed by a pirate. However, this was a ploy to get Kobe's guard down, or Garp's guard down, as Shiryu comes in and stabs Garp right in the gut using his clear fruit. He gets him too, and then Shiryu takes a point blank full on punch from Garp straight to the face, and he takes it and he laughs about it. Shiryu's a monster, bruh. He takes it and laughs about it. Goodness gracious. And Garp recognizes him as the hoodlum from Impel Down, because of course he does, because he's in the Marines. Of course he would know all the news from there. Kobe blames himself from Garp's injury, and Garp is like, no, don't get so full of yourself. They were aiming for me the whole time. And then we find out more context about the cross-guild bounty system. So apparently, Garp is the equivalent of an admiral, because he is worth 3 crowns. If you remember, a star for a Marine is worth 100 million berries. So Kobe is worth 5 stars, so he's worth 500 million berries, which was Luffy's old bounty back in the day. And now Garp has Luffy's current bounty of being 3 billion berries. So each crown is worth 1 billion berries. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if Vice Admirals, well, yes, we do see that. Vice Admirals, I believe, are worth 1 billion berries, because when the bounties were first shown off, the bounty posters, there was a guy, I don't know who he is, but he was worth 1 crown. So yeah, he was worth 1 billion berries. series. So yeah, Kuzan's on the attack to attack Garp. We see a new attack from Kuzan called Ice Glove. As soon as he's raised his fist, we see a flashback of Garp and Kuzan. Whereas Garp was very standoffish with Kuzan at first because he didn't want his freedom to be taken away by taking on a student. Kuzan's like, well, I need you to train me because all the other Marine instructors have taught me everything I need to know, and I want to go to the next level. And then Garp tells him to shut up and get lost. But then they start practicing on the battleships, punching them daily. And this is where Garp instructs him not to use hockey when he punches the ship. And apparently this was from far, far back, because at this moment, Kuzan could not learn hockey. So in a weird turn of events, he has been the super strength guy since the beginning, which is so weird to me because you don't really get to see that much of it because he uses his dough fruit all the time. So that's really interesting. So yeah, time passes and Garp is just airing out his family problems to Kuzan each day as they train. He's disappointed that his son became a revolutionary, and he's disappointed that his grandson became a pirate later on. And then we see their relationship blossom into that of father and son, because then we see him inviting Kuzan out for tea and snacks. So that's really touching, and it's really sad now that they're at odds with one another. And then Kuzan actually says, looks like you've raised quite the troublesome enemy. Garp chastises him and says, you've been excommunicated, you foolish student. And then they do a big clash of hockey. Garp punches Kuzan in the face, Kuzan punches Garp in the face, and this creates a big hockey explosion, pushing them both back. And then Avala Pizarro, tired of all this nonsense and tired of not getting the recognition he deserves as I guess this is the first confirmation he's the captain of the 4th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates. But yeah, he goes on to say, well, the papers won't say anything about Blackbeard this or Blackbeard that tomorrow. They'll say the 4th commander of the 4th ship of the Blackbeard Pirates, Avala Pizarro, has destroyed Garp and his troublesome Marines. That's what the paper will say tomorrow, because I'm Avala Pizarro. But yeah, that's super interesting. And now we see that Avala Pizarro's fruit is just the better version of Pika's fruit, because he spawns arms and legs out of Full Island in order to crush Garp's ship, which is off the shore. That's insane. The power of this is beautiful, by the way. Huge big hand. You see some legs and some arms and stuff. Very freaky, very cool. And now the head of Full Island apparently is now fully animated because it has now spawned eyes. I'm not sure if those are just building parts and the holes of the skull acting as irises for the eyes in order to make eyes. But yeah, that's really interesting. So, no break next week from the looks of it, thank heavens. But yeah, Avala Pizarro is going at it. I believe that either Kuzan or Garp is probably going to deal with him. Kuzan probably being like, don't interfere with our fight, or Garp doing the same thing as to not to interfere with the fight. But yeah, the Blackbeard Pirates are scary. I can't wait to see what happens next week. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like stuff like this, please feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Pauly P Works. And if you like what you see, I would appreciate your subscription. Thank you so much. See you next time.